Hey, look, man. Sometimes you move to different areas and you become a new person. Deebo moved back. He moved back east. He did go to Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's from
South
Carolina.
Carolina. South Carolina.
He's
Yep.
from Carolina. Yep, he's from
You know,
Carolina.
and so I said I had to say it. Same Deebo, new coach. I really should have said same Deebo back home, but it is what it is. Shout out to you, go James. Peace and blessings, my man. But we got
That,
to
na-
talk about
that name is still wild.
You gotta say Kingdom. You gotta say this Goat James.
Yeah.
it.
You got to say home name.
Oh, that's a rule. See, judges mess up all the time. I'm just saying. All right, go James Kingdom. But this is one segment where I'm gonna feel good because I can sit back and really get entertained by my brothers here on this one because my team ain't did nothing yet. I mean, they re-signed some players, but one
What this?
team out there, hold on, one team getting better, the other team's shipping players off, man. So we get the news that Deebo has been traded to the Washington Commanders for a fifth round pick.
Mm.
A fifth round pick.
Woo.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Mingo went for a fourth round pick, but that's another day. So we got to react to it. I know Joe dropped the he dropped the reel slash short for you all on YouTube. Go check it out. His reaction to it. But I really want to know how Dave feel. But I'm gonna start with you, Joe, because Adam cooking.
Oh yeah, he is. Got a jersey on the side. Hold on. Been a minute since I had to put the jersey on my shoulder. You know, the NFC Championship game was
Wait,
ugly.
is A. Johnny a 49ers fan as well? Is that something I didn't know?
Dang. So you must join. You must might as well because
Heck no. Nope.
that's all
Nope.
about to go.
Nope. Nope. No, sir. No, sir.
But look,
Emotional, damn it.
Tomo, let me tell you how cool Adam Peters is. He traded Jahan Dawson
I knew it.
for a third round pick. Used that third round pick, a fourth and a sixth. Got Marshawn Lattimore. Got a fifth for LaShawn Lattimore also back. Use that fifth and get Deebo. So basically, we traded a third, a fourth, and a sixth for Lattimore and Deebo Samuels. I'll take it. Shout out to John Dawson. He did catch a big catch in Super Bowl, so I he did a thing. But this is why I like this move, y'all. I love this move. Now, do I think it's similar to Eagles getting AJ Brown, Chiefs getting Devontae? Not Chiefs. Cardinals getting the what's his name? Devontae, what's his name? Oh, what's his name?
DeAndre Hopkins.
No, I'm thinking about Devontae. I don't know why. All right. Do I think this move similar? Do I messing the whole flow, man? It's supposed to be the real. So
Take two.
do I think this move is similar to AJ Brown going to the Eagles? Or similar to DeAndre Hopkins? I'm gonna mess up again. Going to the Cardinals? No, I don't think it's that impactful. But is it impactful? Yes, it is. Did you see our receiving core last year? I'm not going to take no shot on slight on the Yami Brown. He did his thing when it had to be. I'm not going to take no slight Noah Brown. He did his thing when he had to be. Or Luke McCaffrey, he did his thing. But Zach Ertz was our second leading receiver. Did y'all know that? Zach Ertz. So Deebo Samuels will be viable in a Cleve Kingsbury offense. $17.5 million contract, 1 year contract on a proven year. Proven year. Not only had his worst year, he got traded for a fifth round pick. He got to be motivated. And then somebody said, I heard Deebo was fat. He said, yeah, 225 to be exact. Can't wait till next season start. First start for new Bo. That's what he said. First start, new Bo. And look, I'm not going to rap too much, but all I got to say is this. Last year, he had his worst year. He's going to be a weapon for us. But although he had his last year, I don't know if they know this. Did y'all know this? He had the highest yak per reception in 2000 last year. Y'all know that, right? The highest. So that's more than Jameson Williams, who's an explosive guy. That's more than Jaden Reed, who's up there, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas Jr. We want you, my brother. Stay put in Jacksonville. Keep losing. We got you, bro. Jamar Chase, who might be coming decent. So all I'm saying is he's still valuable, and the production he put up last year, which was his worst, would have been awesome with us. I would take that any day. It takes the eyes off of Terry McLaurin. And it's not only you got Terry, you got Jaden, who's also a weapon, and now you got to worry about Deebo. I love it. We're not done. I'm not saying it's gonna put us over Philly or over in the Super Bowl. We got a lot of work to do. But Adam, he just can't start.
Let him cook.
All right. I'm not that 49ers fan that's going to say Deebo's washed. That's not me. Because I've heard that a lot from a lot of other Niners fans saying that Deebo's washed. That's false. Come on now. Deebo did not have a good year. But to say he's washed is a little crazy. Now, there were a lot of 49er fans, including myself, that thought that Deebo was at least worth a third-round pick when we found out that he requested a trade. So let's not make it seem like now that we only got a fifth that he's washed. Let's not do that. All right. Let's not do that at all. Now, not only was that his bad year, that was, the last 3 years really haven't necessarily been that well as a receiver for Deebo. Now, Deebo did have a 1,000-yard season just 2 seasons ago, but it wasn't a 1,000-yard receiving season. You remember, he did also run the ball a lot often that year as well. That's when we have 4 players over 1,000 yards. That was Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, of course, Christian McCaffrey, and Deebo Samuel. All 4 of them were over 1,000 yards that season. Now, last year, of course, with injuries to Brandon Ayuk and also with Christian McCaffrey not being there for pretty much the entire season, Deebo was the guy that pretty much had to step up. And there were times where he was out as well. And he did not create any kind of separation as a wide receiver. He was overweight during the season, and he did not do what was needed of him as far as being a number 1 receiver, because Deebo was the number 1 receiver before Brandon Ayuk got there. Now, if you look at the last 4 seasons, as far as his production as a receiver per game, it was in 2021, 87.8. In 2022, 48.6. In 2023, 59.5. And that's the year we thought that it was awesome for him. And then last year, 44.7. That's receiving yards per game. So he's not that receiver that you're thinking that he's going to put up 195 to 100 yards a game receiving. No, the way you use Deebo Samuel is you use him all around in your game plan. Put Deebo in your special teams as well, because that's where he makes an impact as well. Because in South Carolina, he was used on punt returns and kick returns as well, as well as receiving. And the 49ers use that as well. And we know that with the Cliff Kingsbury's offense, he's going to use Deebo as a running back at times as well, because that was successful for him. It wasn't successful last year, because I tell you, it was abysmal last year of him being in the backfield running. But that was also because our offensive line was non-existent. Trent Williams missed the last half of the season, honestly. And Colt McKivitz, don't get me started on him. Don't get me started on him. The offensive line has not necessarily been good, and that's something we have not addressed in years. Honestly, Trent Williams is the last time we really addressed the offensive line. It's when we got him from Washington. So that's the last time we addressed that. We haven't done it in the draft. If you look at the last few years when we drafted the wide receiver, which was Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Those are the guys that we're drafting receivers. We're drafting weapons in the first round, or defensive tackles that necessarily don't work out for us. So we've used that, and that's just what it is. But I think this is a good move for the Commanders, because that gives them someone else to that offense more dynamic than it already was, because they needed another guy to help out with the offense. You do have Luke McCaffrey, who can pretty much do just almost the same thing that Deebo has, but Deebo is way more explosive than he is.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what Deebo can do when he becomes explosive. Remember, I know everybody remembers that game against the Eagles 2 seasons ago where he took over.
Trash.
He was dominating in that game. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. His yak was crazy in that game.
Those screens.
So we know when he's on fire, he can be a problem. So let's not make it seem like he's washed, because Deebo's not washed.
So it was a running thing. They said when Deebo got the news, he texted Kyle and was like,
"How come he don't want me, man?"
This is like the 3rd year in a row they kept talking about actually getting rid of Deebo, and then they finally got rid of him. It only took for Adam Peters to go somewhere and bring his boy back.
This was different though because Deebo actually requested to be traded, so this was a little different.
At this point, he was kind of alluding to it at the Super Bowl run and everything too. He was like, you know what, I think my time here is done. But again, it was fun while it lasted. And what better place to go than you like literally close to home? It's a trip right down the street. I mean, if you want to drive or if you want to hop on a train, jet, whatever, you can still get home quicker. And it's a new environment where they're winning. It's not like you getting traded to that old Commanders team where it's just like, man, you sent me here because you don't think we're going to win. Kind of like sending people to Cleveland, but that's another story for another day. Now you just seeing the team. Well, it's true. You see what Myles Garrett said? He said, don't even ask about negotiations. Trade me. I don't want none of that. Trade me now. That's all I'm saying. But with the Commanders, again, you just watch this young team blossom again. Everything that you all said about Jaden Daniels and how he did with this offense and just, again, a band of either vets or castaways that was on this Commander team just to see how good this rookie quarterback was going to be. He took him to a conference championship. And what you seen, he basically, I mean, I'll let Mark fight that fight, but he almost outplayed the other guy on the other side, but some things happened in that game. Again, that's for the Commanders fans to defend. I'm just throwing out what I heard. So to bring Deebo there, that's another added weapon to a guy who loves to run the football when plays break down. So imagine having Deebo right next to you with B-Rob and Zach Ertz is probably back. And again, free agency hasn't even started yet. So it's a good move for both. I would say it's a good move for both teams because now you remove a disgruntled player from your locker room, and now you could replace that with Ricky Parasol, and then you got to see what Ayuk going to be. And again, free agency. There's just a lot of things. I say it's a win-win. For teams that trade wide receivers for fourth-round picks that don't have the same production as Deebo, a lot of questions are going to go there to you, but that's another story for another day. Only the Cowboys Shaq can understand it. But for you all, I think it was a good move. I think Deebo is going to be great. And I was with you, Dave. When I kept saying the 49ers fans say he was washed, I was like, I wouldn't go that far because you traded him. Now, did he have a bad season? Okay. But I wouldn't say he was washed. That's just like when we traded Amari Cooper to the Browns. I won't say he's not washed. He's not going to play in the cold, but he's not washed.
Yeah, Deebo's not washed, and the difference between I know you say there's a conversation for another day, but the difference between the Jonathan Mingo and the Deebo thing is Deebo's contract is the reason why we got a fifth for him. Not a lot of people were willing to trade anything higher than that because of his contract.
Yeah, because and then not just the money, he's on a 1-year deal, so like he has to sign back. And he wanted to come to us too. We wanted to come to.
But the Eagles jersey on though.
Yeah,
I'm being funny.
Yeah, ain't my issue no more.
They had a Titan jersey on. Man, what that mean? But look,
the Titans versus the Eagles, Joe.
I mean, he's a Mariota fan. The Eagles jersey look nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
He was just doing that because he
like he was losing. He was beating the Eagles when he played.
That was a little, that is a little mental edge right there. I see what you're saying.
I mean, if he wear a Cowboy jersey, you gonna think he want to be with the Cowboys? I mean, he owns it.
That's another bullying factor. You're right. Two teams he beat up on, he gonna wear the jersey. Say, what you gonna do about it?
We doing it too. But look though, I
ain't gonna do that here though. Calm down. I heard that.
Why the 49ers did what they did? They just signed Brandon Ayuk. They drafted Ricky Parasol, and they gotta sign Brock Purdy next year. Probably they keep him. So they had it
next year. This year.
No, they don't have to sign him this year.
He's getting a contract this year.
No, what I'm saying is, if he gets a contract, he gets it. But he's on 1 more year. This is last year though. They had to deadline is next year. They had to play him next year. So I get why they did what they did because they're not gonna be able to pay Deebo what he wants. And then look, Deebo. I mean, they put some numbers out. He on 600, 670 receiving yards. But look at it. He don't get a lot of targets. He don't. And here's the thing though, when he get that rock, last year, 13.1 yards per reception. That's good. That's pretty good. Year before that, 14.9. 13.1 is his third highest in his career. That's last year. So the man still got it. He might not be Deebo or Pro Deebo that we saw the other year, 1,300 receiving yards, some craziness, 1,400 receiving yards. He might not be that Deebo. But give me 800. I'm cool with that. Give me 800 receiving and give me about 400-500 rushing. I'm straight. And give me about 7 to 10, 7 to 12 TDs. I'm cool with that.
500 rushing. Your boy gonna try for 1,000 yards. So I don't know how you
I'm cool with that too.
1,000-yard rushing quarterback, 1,000-yard rushing
He's
running.
talking about our quarterback.
Yeah.
You taking away some touches now.
We gonna run it up. No fun. And
Hey.
we were number 7 ranked offense in the NFL, and we added another piece. Come on now, like, and we not done. We got bread. We got that bread, boy. I'm confident saying a lot today.
You are though.